Oh my gosh. Welcome to the Crypto Boss Ninja channel. I'm just getting started here a little bit early. 7 p.m. Central Time. We are live every single Saturday. Next Saturday, I think I'm working, so it might be a little different. I will be live next Saturday as well, though. But that's what's going on. I'm going to just make sure that we're live on YouTube. We are live on both YouTube and TikTok, so if you guys want to see the entire screen, head over to my YouTube page. Sound looking to be good on YouTube, so just verifying that. But yeah, so I will get started officially here in about 2 minutes. I'm going to pull up the Fear and Greed Index. I'm going to, Bookmap is going. I fixed Bookmap, so we are good to go on that. I also need to tell my Telegram group that we are live. And my Discord group. So I have a Patreon now, so feel free to check that out. Link to join that is inside my Telegram. I think it's also posted on TikTok directly, but it's definitely my Telegram group, so you can join that and then go from there. So and I will post a link for YouTube right now. So, Bitcoin had a bit of a breakout today above $51,500. We'll kind of go into where I see Bitcoin going next, because there was a key resistance level that I was looking for us to break, and I think we broke that level, or we did break that level. We are also in a symmetrical triangle on the smaller time frames. On the 1 hour chart, Bitcoin broke to the upside out of that, and the measure move for Bitcoin out of that symmetrical triangle has not been hit yet, so I will look and tell you guys where I'm looking for that to go. If you guys have requests for altcoins, so you can drop them in the comment section now, and I will look at them after I go through Bitcoin. I see one person already said XCP. I don't know what that is, but I guess we'll dive into that in about 15 minutes here and go from there. So we're live on YouTube as well if you guys want to check us out on YouTube. With that being said, I'm going to flip the screen so you guys can see the entire screen, and then we'll get going from there. I do only have one request, is that if you are going to request altcoins, I need to make sure you're hitting the like button, because it's what helps support this small channel. I don't know, it doesn't do much, but it helps a little bit, so anything helps, and that's not asking very much. Or, yeah, I'll go, so, alright, let's look at Bitcoin right now and go from there. So I'm going to just record this really quick. Testing, so sound should be good, and let's get started. So looking at Bitcoin here, let's start on the weekly time frame and just do our deep dive. This is the Coinbase chart, and that's the time frame, that's the chart I'm using. If we just zoom into the stock RSI alone on the weekly, we can see that this is an uptrend. I predicted, because we did not go all the way down to zero, that we are going to make a lower high, at least in the stock RSI, and then go back down. I could be wrong, could get completely overbought again, but either way, weekly chart is as of now in an uptrend, while Bitcoin is making a higher high. So just be cautious. The 3-day chart for Bitcoin right now is overbought, and that is finally covering to the downside on the stock RSI. You still have about 2 days left in that candle, and the daily chart is making a higher low. So really, the daily and under is what I'm focused on today. The daily chart, this is what we call a rising wedge pattern. The price is getting higher and it's getting tighter as we go up, and usually this is bearish 68% of the time. They drop to the downside, but if Bitcoin is really bullish, or you're in a massive uptrend, or you're in a bull market, which I believe we're in now, then usually you break to the upside. But if they do break to the upside, they go up parabolically. But for right now, the measure, or it's, you know, the percentage would say you go down. I believe we're gonna take a move to the upside if you break out of this bullishly. So this would be a pretty big measure move. So you take it from the neckline, which is up here, all the way back down to the last real local low. I would say that the last major local low on the daily was $40,168. If you break out to the upside, your measure move for Bitcoin is $79,000. But if you break to the downside, then you would come back to where you started this pattern from, which is around that $38,000 level or $40,000 level for Bitcoin. So that's what we're looking at. If this breaks to the upside, we could see a new all-time high for Bitcoin later this year, which is very likely possible. You came back to the bottom of the pattern on the rising wedge, and so that's a good sign for a move to the upside. The 12-hour chart made a higher low. That's a really good move for for a measure move to the upside, and it suggests we go to that target of $79,000. So you can see you came back to the bottom. You went sideways slightly down, and you came to the bottom of the pattern, and now you could get a move back to the top of the pattern. Or you could just break out. So we'll see what happens. If the 12-hour chart, 12-hour chart still looks good to me. The 6-hour chart is now making a lower high, though, as you can see on the stock RSI. The 8-hour still has a lot of gas. The 4-hour chart for Bitcoin is bearish. The 2-hour chart for Bitcoin is bearish. The 1-hour chart also made a lower high. So again, be cautious. For right now, you're starting to break out to the upside. But this was a symmetrical triangle on the 1-hour chart. The measure move to the downside was 49.9, and the measure move to the upside is 53.8. Right now, it's still, to me, in chop. But I would be cautious. I would still be cautious right now. If I want to be really bullish, I want to see you break the 200 simple moving average on the 1-hour chart, which is right now at 52,000, we'll call it. If you break 52,000, I will say that we are going to probably hit 53.8. Until you break 52K, I would just be very cautious because it is the weekend. There's a lot of chop on the weekend. And yeah, so 52,000 is really a key level to break above, for me at least, based on what I'm looking at. And until you break 52K, we can't really be bullish for a move to the upside. So the 50-minute chart for Bitcoin suggests you are going to go higher. You're kind of in a flag. Let's see what Bookmaps is saying. Bookmaps suggests that you have more liquidity to the upside, which is at $52,000. That's the key level I was just talking about as far as resistance. And Bookmap is also suggesting there's a lot of orders at 52,000. So Bookmap is also confirming that that's a big level of liquidity. You have some more at 52.6, but let's just zoom out and see if we see any at 53.8, because that's the measured move. So you don't see a lot at 53.8, but you see some at 55,000. So to me right now, Bookmap is also saying we're more bullish than bearish. Let's see what happens. If I had to call it short term on the 15, I'm calling for a move to the upside. You're above the 200 moving averages and 200-day moving averages on the 15-minute time frame. So really, I could see a move to the upside short term for Bitcoin. We'll flag this, and then we'll see what happens. But you could say, and just keep it simple, as long as Bitcoin stays above 51,343, above the 200-day moving average on the 15-minute time frame, there's no reason that Bitcoin can't get above 52,000. So the 50-minute time frame suggests that you could get to 52,250, and so the 15-minute time frame right now could save the day and get you to be bullish on the 1 hour. So the smaller time frames have to be bullish in order for you to be bullish on the higher time frames. Right now, the 8-hour looks great. The only time frames I'm really worried about is the 1 hour and, of course, a huge time frame such as the 3-day. But if the daily is bullish, then that can override the 3-day because it's a smaller time frame. So really short term, I'm looking for a move above 52,000. I think that's the most likely scenario. Bookmap looks bullish to me and says we go higher, and this pattern says it's likely as well. So if Bitcoin gets above 52,000, I'm bullish again on the 1 hour, and if I'm bullish on the 1 hour, then Bitcoin can really make a move to the higher target at 53.8. Right now, 52.2. If you get above 52K, I'm going to be looking for 53.800 next, and then go from there. So that's what we're looking at for Bitcoin, and I will leave it at that. If Bitcoin goes up, most of the market will go up as well. So now I will look at the requests. If there's any requests, I will look at them. So we have 2 people watching on YouTube. So let me see if I see any more requests on TikTok. See who requested it first. So we have 2 requests on TikTok, and then we will look at what the requests were on YouTube. So, all right. So MXM and Jasmine at $5 by December. Well, I don't know about $5. They added a lot of more coins into circulation since the price was at $5, so I don't think that's a realistic target. But let's go look at XEP and see if that's chartable. That is XEP. Alright, so XEP on the weekly. Okay, I forgot to stop recording, but that's okay. Alright, it is what it is, I guess. XEP on the weekly for whatever this is, it's going to make a higher low, more than likely. The 3-day is also making a higher low. The daily is kind of choppy. It's losing the 200. I'd just be careful with these lower market cap coins with lower liquidity, but I'm not saying I don't play them ever. let's just look at the 4 hour and less. The 4 hour chart right now, it doesn't look great to me. You just lost a 200-day moving average on the 4 hour chart, and you made a lower high, making lower lows. So I'm just going to go back to the daily and kind of chart where I see resistance and support and go from there. Because that's really all you can do. So you have support down there, way down there at 15.1, and you have a decent amount of support at where we are now. I must have looked at this before because I have also said that was support. So that's what we're looking at. If you don't get back above right now, also there's a high volume note, a lot of the orders there at 41.19. So if you don't get back above, we'll call it 42. If you don't get back above 41 or 42, there's a very good chance that this thing is going to take a tumble back to 15 on the macro time frame. So to me, this is not something I would touch, but really 41 is a key level to break. If you break 41, you can be looking for a higher move to 66. Really no reason to make it more complicated than that. So yeah, it looks like 41 is a big resistance level. I would even call it 42. If you get back above 42, it could really take off to 66. But otherwise, really, there's nothing else to look at. I'm not going to go into the 1 minute chart. But XEP, if you get above 42, I could see a higher move to 66. And then from there, we'd have to relook at it. So Litecoin, let's look at Litecoin. I know this has some more volume, but this has been a coin that's really, wow. It's actually gotten beat down to the ground. A year or two ago it was at $100, and now it's just done nothing. So, excuse me. It looks like on the weekly chart for Litecoin, that's thank you for the follow, user 25. Are we holding on for a bigger dip? I believe Bitcoin's looking good, but I think I just went over Bitcoin. So, anyways. Let's look at Litecoin. $63 is a high volume node here on the weekly chart. I don't like the fact that on the weekly you didn't get oversold. Usually whenever you get a bounce prematurely, it doesn't last. And like right here, you get a bounce prematurely and it roll over quickly. Same thing here. Actually there, yeah, you almost got oversold, but yeah, it just usually when you get a bounce prematurely before the stock RSI hits 0, it doesn't last. So the weekly chart looks okay, but I think it's going to roll over on you. The 3-day doesn't look good to me. So really, to me, I'm bearish on the weekly, I'm bearish on the 3-day, and I'm bearish. The daily actually does look good on Litecoin. So really, the Litecoin needs to get back above. It's above the 200-day moving average right now, which is at $68. So that's a good sign. If I go to the 4 hour chart right now made a lower high. You really short-term need to break the last local high at $72. If you can't break $72, Litecoin is not bullish. And really, it's been in a downtrend for the last few years. Not looking great. But really, that's what I'm looking at for Litecoin. You have resistance right now that you're trying to break at $72. So that's what I'd be watching out for Litecoin right now. $72 is the price you have to be. 1 hour chart looks great on Litecoin. I'm actually surprised based on what we just saw. The 1 hour chart isn't a flag, and you also are at a high volume node at $70.50. If you break this, well, we'd have to go back to the higher time frames to see where the next target is, but this is a bull pennant on the 1 hour chart. So really, Litecoin looks like it could take a move to the upside. Let's just get the entirety of the measured move. Entirety of the measured move takes you to $74. Nothing crazy, but that's what I'm looking at. That would be a higher high, at least on the 4 hour chart, but I don't love it because the 4 hour chart's overbought. So to me, I would be cautious on Litecoin right now. Also, looks like a lot of these orders are lower, like down at $64. So to me right now, it's not something I'd touch, but if you want to be bullish, you have to get above 70. What price was it? Let me make sure I'm right. You have to get above, I would say $72. If you're above $72, I can be bullish, especially if you're above $74. So if the 1 hour chart takes you to $74, then that's a whole different scenario on Litecoin. And if that happens, then the higher resistance levels on Litecoin would be like $100, $102. So we'll see what happens. Also, you have a lot of resistance at $91. So $91 and then $102 are the next resistances. Also, so I would be looking out for $91.40 to be the next massive resistance if it breaks $74. That's Litecoin for you. That's actually looks somewhat interesting, but Litecoin was a request. MXM was another request. Thank you for the likes as well on YouTube. I should have said that earlier. Let's go look at MXM. So I don't know what, I'll use the buy a bid exchange. The daily chart, okay, this chart looks pretty bad. Well, it doesn't look horrible, but the 12-hour chart, that's not even like a really falling wedge. It just looks like, it doesn't look great to me. I mean, it's oversold. The 8 hour is also oversold, but it's not getting any bounce. The 6 hour ever so slightly is trying to get the bounce, but like, the low is 7-0. I don't know. It could be happening. The 4 hour chart right now, trying to get the bounce, failed. You're below the 21-day moving average. I would just be careful. 2 hour charts overbought, making a lower high. You're below the moving averages again. MXM to me is like a huge no-no unless you can short this. 1 hour chart below the 200-day moving average, below the 21 moving average. You're below high volume nodes at 78. So really, it's likely this thing continues to tumble unless you get back at least above 78. So I would just be very cautious on this. To me, this is not something I would touch. There's not enough price history to tell you where the next support is. You do have some support I can see at that 62 level. I looked at this one other time because I already have a red line there, but overall, if you... Yeah, so 11 cents is resistance, 6.2 cents is support. So really, you need to get above these moving averages on any of these time frames, even the 15. So if you can't even break 80 cents, then there's no reason to be bullish on MXM. I mean, it's that simple, and I will leave it at that because it's not really a coin I want to look at. If you guys have requests for other altcoins, let me know in the comment section below, and I will look at them. Metal blockchain, METAL. Let's go look at Metal. This is on MEXC. Doesn't mean much, but it's on MEXC. The weekly chart for Metal. Well, here's what I do like some of these coins. I mean, the chance that you lose everything is 100, is like, it's very much there in these coins. But the thing I like about these coins is it's probably never going back to the high, but maybe it is. It's like a moonshot gamble. The high was $70. You're sitting at 10 cents right now. So like, just for shits and giggles, you should put 10 bucks in this coin, and if it goes back to $70, I mean, you have to believe in the project. But you're about to cross the 21-day moving average on the weekly. The weekly has more gas, so I would look somewhat okay. 3 days cooked, but you're above the 21. I like that. The daily is cooked, but you're above the 21. And now you need to get above the 13. Actually, it's also above the 200-day moving average as well down here. It's not above the 200 simple smooth moving average, but it is above the moving averages that most people look at. So I like that. The 12-hour chart is above everything. That looks good. 12-hour chart, it looks like it's trying to flag out, going sideways while the price is resetting, or the stocks are resetting. I like that. The 8 hours oversold. Yup, it is. The 6 hour is oversold. Not really getting much of a move up, but it is consolidating. The 4 hour chart is trying to get the bounce. So this looks a lot better than the last project, and it looks like it has a chance. MXM is in a flag now on the 4 hour time frame. So MXM actually looks good to me, but it's a high risk coin, I can just tell you, but it's not super low liquidity based on what I'm seeing. Measure move would give you a double. This could be something I might be interested in. We'll see. But maybe. I don't know. 1 hour chart looks bullish above the 200-day moving average and above the 21. I like to see it, so I would like to see this it come to the bottom of the pattern, the stocks make a higher low, but overall that looks good to me for a move up to about 20-21 cents. So yes, this looks good. Yeah, I like it. Thank you for the follow, BB. And I just made a video about Jasmine, so if you guys want to go watch that, go to my YouTube channel. I'm not going to go over that again because I made a video about it before I made the live stream, so you guys go watch it on my YouTube channel. But Jasmine does look bullish as well, so that's kind of what we're looking at. So, yeah, I do like this. I'm going to add this to my watch list. I would say it's an S coin, but I will add that just to keep it on the radar. This could be an okay trade setup, and I might post this to my trading group. Usually, whatever I post to my trading group, I don't tell YouTube, but I like this a lot. This looks good to me. I'm gonna just take a picture of this really quick, so that I have it for later. I'm gonna close out a book map. If you guys have other requests, let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, that's really all I got. AGIX is ripping again. Is it? Yeah, it's up 6%. That's kind of crazy on the daily. That's going to be due for a pullback, but yeah, it's having fun, that's for sure. LCX. So LCX, if you stay above 16.3 cents, you're still bullish. You have to break this resistance here at 33 cents. It's pretty much that simple. This is on the daily time frame. The daily is in a falling wedge. So to me, that is just what's got to happen. You have to be bullish. You have to stay above these key levels. That can take you up to 55 cents. This looks okay to me. LCX on Coinbase. 4-hour chart also broke out, retesting the pattern, the bullish pattern, not losing it, making a higher low. I like this to 55 cents. I'm going to also post this to my trading group. Thank you for the likes. I was just about to say, hey, if you want me to look at these coins, I need the likes. But all right, someone took care of it. So RLC. You're at key resistance right now for RLC at 457. If you break that, you're going to be off to 1582 on the weekly time frame. That's the resistance on the weekly. 3-day, same thing. Daily is trying to make a higher low. 12 hours already bottomed out. I like that. 6-hour looks good. 4-hour looks good above the moving averages. You have to break 457. If you do that, you can have a nice move back to the upside on RLC. If you don't do that, well, we could be looking for more downside action. Probably back to that last local low that you have down here at 91 cents. I don't think it's going that low. We'd have to find a closer support. You also have a local low there at $1.25, and you also have a bunch of orders down here at $1.70. So really, that's another level to watch. So $1.70, and I would also say you have one more local low here at $2.10 is support. So if you don't get above 457, I would not be surprised at all if RLC comes back down to $2. You could also see you have another resistance above 457 at $6.70 on RLC. Thank you for the follow, and just cause the orders there don't mean it's going to go there, dog. Well, that's usually how that works. Usually when you cross over a high volume node, which is what this is, you go to the next one. That's exactly how that works, actually. Usually the price goes to where there's the most liquidity. So, Jasmine, I made a video about Jasmine, so I'm not going to do it in the live stream. I'm trying to do coins I haven't covered yet. I posted a video to my YouTube channel on Jasmine like an hour ago. Epic AIEPK. Let's go look at that. AIEPK. What on the... Alright, well, this is okay. So, resistance right now, right there. Support right there. 3-day is overbought. The daily is overbought. That doesn't mean you can't keep going higher. I do like this though, because this is a rounded bottom, and that these are very bullish patterns. Whenever you see a rounded bottom, you could just buy it when it starts going up, and you would have a nice trade there. Usually another rounded bottom here. You have another rounded bottom here, and you broke to the upside. Look how that played out. So you can see the rounded bottoms when they start going up, you could buy them. You have a third rounded bottom here. So this looks decently good to me. Every time you made a higher high. So now you'd expect a move higher. You've already made a higher high, actually, from the last high. So to me, it looks good to me. This is also another rounded bottom. So this project looks good. I mean, I don't know what this is, but there's 4 rounded bottoms you can see in the chart right there. But that's what I like to see. So let's look at the 12-hour chart. 12-hour chart made a higher high, higher low. I like to see it. The 8-hour chart is overbought, but again, looks good to me. If we go to the smaller time frames, we're going to see another rounded bottom right here. So again, it looks good for another move up. So I don't, I like what I'm seeing on whatever AIEPK 1 hour chart is making a higher low, higher high, and you could even say that that's like a cup or a handle now on the 1 hour chart. So to me, that's a bullish pattern, and if nothing else, that's a falling wedge, or you could just say that's the handle out of the cup and handle, and you might rip here to 3.5. That's going to take time, but that could be the measure move on the larger time frame. So we'll see what happens, but this looks like a good project, so thank you for this request. It's higher risk, though. I can tell you right now, it's higher risk. But I could see that happening. Actually, I might at least record this. Add this to my watch list, and I might say something about this to my group. It's an L. Also, if it's an AI coin, yeah, it's going to do well. So that's definitely a sleeping giant, probably, based on the chart. And if it's AI, so I might have to do more research on it. There's so many AI coins, though. I think the market's a little saturated with AI coins, so just be cautious. Okay, let's try your little theory. Let's try your theory. Let's go to the weekly chart on Bitcoin and see where the high volume node is at. It might have to load for a second. I don't know. Or maybe I just need to do it on this one. Alright, so let's go on the weekly chart to Bitcoin and see where that's at. Okay, well, maybe then this indicator is useless because it's saying the most orders on Bitcoin are at $7,400. I would agree that's never going to happen. Okay, well, I might be deleting that indicator now. Okay, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Yeah, I might have to agree with that. You might be right. See, this is why I don't like using all these ridiculous indicators, because I actually thought it was going to be more... Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. I expected to see more up here, but yeah, that's kind of... You kind of proved your point there. That's ridiculous. Alright, well... I'm just going to... Okay, I'm deleting that. That's ridiculous. Like, what's the point of using that indicator then if that's how that works? I don't know. That's ridiculous. That's useless. Alright. That's so stupid. Alright. So, can you look into Code Coin? CHOED. Let's go look at that. CHODE. What? Bro, what is this? I mean, I get on the weekly. This thing at one point was... Well, I don't know. Okay. This thing, right now, whatever this is, if it goes back to the all-time high, that's a 21,000% move. I mean, I don't know what this is. This chart looks horrific. I mean, like, what? There's no volume. You know, a moonshot gamble at best. You know, you buy something like this, you put 10 bucks in, and if you know, 21,000% returns, you know. So that's a 2100x times 10. That's just a moonshot gamble. You put 10 bucks in hoping to make 21,000 because there's nothing bullish about this chart. So you're literally playing the lottery if you buy something like this, you know. Unless you know how to like day trade it and just get the small moves. When it goes down here, buy it at 20, sell it when it goes up here for a double. That's the only reason this coin has volume. This is not something you'd want to invest long term in, so I'm not even going to do TA on that. That's kind of ridiculous. This AI coin looks like it shit the bed, you know. I've been in the crypto market for about 5 years now. This is going to be my second halving when Bitcoin has its halving in about a month and a half. So, I do find that Bookmap is very useful, though, when it comes to where liquidity is at. So I just figured that the VRVP would be the same way, but clearly not. AIEPK. $2 million market cap? Is that for NCX? That's kind of... Okay. I don't know, man. That just... it looks like there's no momentum behind the project, so... Anyways. If you guys have requests for more altcoins, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap things up. With that being said, guys, that's kind of all I got. I'll be back live Monday, 7 p.m. Central Time until then. Trade safe. I'm going to post some things to my trading group. So we have a trading group, so make sure you check that out if you guys are interested in my trade setups. Maybe I need to learn more about the VRVP, but with that being said, guys, that's all I got. I will see you guys on Monday, 7 p.m. Central Time for our next live stream. Until then, trade safe. Have a great weekend. And I'm going to post some stuff to my channel, post a few more videos to YouTube tonight, and I'll see you guys on Monday for our next live stream. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Alright, so I'm gonna end this.